All right, given the graph of y equals g of x, give the intervals of x such that g of x will be greater than 0. So what we're looking for is the sections, the values of x where the output, or what we see on our graph, will basically, it'll be strictly greater than 0, strictly above the x-axis. Okay, so if we look here, all right, from here, you know, from this point to this point, all right, and it continues on. So basically, this is going to negative infinity, or going that way. That's like everything is above the x-axis. Okay, and then from here to up to this point here, everything is above the x-axis. Okay, so those are the only two sections or intervals that will give us a value that g of x is going to be greater than 0. So let's see what this is, and we'll put this in interval notation. So let's see, negative infinity all the way up to, and we will, it goes up to 1, but look what happens when we get to 1. When you get to 1, you end up with an output of 0, but what they're asking for is it has to be strictly greater than 0. So we don't want to include 1. We put a parentheses here. We just want to say that it goes up to 1. All right. And let's see, there's another interval, so we're going to have union. And this time, let's see, starting at 5. But again, at 5, it's equal to 0. So we want the values that are of x such that g of x will be strictly greater than 0. So I don't want to include 5. I just want to say it starts right. That's the starting point, and then like basically like 5.1, 5.2. But if you put 5 in, you're going to get a 0. Then also, let's see how far does this go. It goes up to 12. And now you see that 12, when we get to 12, it's above the x-axis, and we have a value that is above 0, so we do want to actually include this x input of 12. All right. So this here, and there's no other value outside of these two intervals here, that any other x values outside of these two intervals that will yield g of x greater than 0.